Welcome to Writers Are the Best Weirdos, the podcast starring me, Julia Roberts. I am a creativity coach, speaker, writer, and a weirdo. Aren't you? We're going to answer a lot of questions about pubbing and promoting and marketing your books, so stay tuned. Hi, everybody. I am here with Brittany Plumeri, and she is going to share with us all the secrets and magic of Canva, which is so exciting. But before we say hi to Brittany, who's sitting there so patiently, let me just read her bio to you, and then we'll go right back to her. So Brittany is an award-winning best-selling picture book author with her own publishing company, Once Upon a Page Press. Brittany is now also being represented for traditional publishing by the Purcell Agency. That's always good. As a mother and elementary school teacher, her books are inspired by her own children and students. Her stories help promote self-esteem, confidence, kindness, and manners in young readers. Her passion for utilizing social media has given her the drive needed to help teach herself graphic design. Brittany not only shares in detail the process with her clients, but is there for every step of the way. And clients being people who want to publish children's books. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
Great. Well, welcome, Brittany.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited because I use Canva, but I'm pretty sure you use it better. Just looking at your picture that you provided, I'm like, oh my gee. So what would you use Canva for? What?
Oh my goodness. What do I not use Canva for? So Canva is like my go-to for everything. So if I want to post a graphic on social media, I'll start with it on Canva and I will put it straight to anything. You can. What's great about Canva is that you could switch the sizes. So you could do an Instagram post, a Facebook post. You can make everything right there.
You have a paid account? You have to have a paid account to switch the sizes.
Yes.
Yes. And is it, I don't know, is it expensive? Is it a little bit per month? What is it?
Well, because I'm a teacher, I get it for free. But it's about like $100 a year.
$100 a year. So that's less than $10 a month. Personally, I've always felt like, I just have that old-fashioned upbringing where I'm like, don't pay if you don't have to. But I'm often vexed by the fact that I have to move it and reshape it,
Yeah.
So yes, I agree with you. Being able to change things in size or make a banner and then is great, is important. Yeah.
Yeah. And it definitely helps when you're making your own ads. So I don't know if you run social media ads, but I do all the time. And you can make them right on Canva. They actually have a setting for ads. So you're able to put ads on Facebook and Instagram, not just KDP, which I love.
I'm going to say, which is really important, they have sizes pre-established. So you don't have to Google what is a Facebook size, Google what is so it'll tell you what size is right for each, it'll give you the template. So that it makes everything easier right away. Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. And what I love is that they have so many options of different fonts. And when you do use the Pro, you can use all of their elements. So you're able to get a lot of the things that you can't when you only have free Canva. So Pro is definitely.
There's a lot in free. I'm just going to stand up.
Yeah.
Oh. There's a lot in free. But sometimes you click on something you like and it's like, oh, it's got the little crown and you have to have the Pro. And it can be a little annoying, but even if you never pay for Canva, so much power in that little app, right? Oh my goodness.
It's fantastic. It really is. I mean, whoever decided that this was a good idea, like it was. Well,
did you use Picnic back in the day? Picnic, P-I-C?
Oh, a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was great.
I feel like this was like better.
Somebody bought it just to kill it, I think, right?
Yeah, but I think this is like.
This is better. This is better.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would an author want Canva for? Let's say they're just not necessarily running a business, but they're just have a book coming out. What would they want Canva for?
So one of the things besides, like I said, social media, you can make your own bookmarks. So when you're going to different events, you can have a bookmark right there. And I love the fact, it might just be a Pro thing, but you can add a QR code right on it.
Oh,
and
no,
they have the
can.
button.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So they have the QR code. You can put your link in, you can put that right on your bookmark, and then you can send it to get printed. And that's what you can use for events. You can also use it to make a lead magnet. And what that is a way to build your email list. So it's giving something for free. So maybe worksheets that go with your book if you're a children's book author, or if
any
you're
book author, any self-help or nonfiction could have a workbook, and it,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. If you're traditionally published, you would have to check with your publisher, because they might feel like that takes away from the value of your book. But if you're not traditionally published, go for it, 100%. Yeah.
And put it on your website. So that way you're starting to collect emails. So now you can make your newsletters on there, which I do every month. And I send them out through my Wix. Yeah, I do. And I send them out through my Wix account. I have like the Wix Ascend. So I make my newsletter right on Canva, copy it, and I put it straight into my Wix, and I send that out every single month.
What's a Wix? Is Wix just like a WordPress?
A website builder.
Yeah, yeah. So, wow, I would never build it seems like overkill to use Canva for my newsletter, but my newsletter is basically a picture, and you know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, as a children's book author, I like to showcase my characters. So like I need to have like a lot more, I make it like bright and like, so my characters can be throughout it. And if I'm just doing that writing, it's not really, it doesn't have the same effect. So I make it like all pretty on Canva, and then I download it and I send
it. And to be honest, more social media is getting more and more graphic and less, verbal
Crazy.
joke or verbosity, So, and some of us are challenged by that because we like words. Don't take them away, but we don't have to take them away. We could just, add them to a graphic or just put a little border around them for the season or any number of things, which are very easy in Canva, and which will then also, like I said, give you the right sizes. So you don't have to put it right in on Facebook because you know the size and you can import it. And that sounds hard. You can cut and paste it.
Just press download.
Yeah, you can actually run your Facebook directly, can't you? You can put things directly from Canva onto Facebook or onto Insta.
I've never actually tried that. I like to save it to my computer first. I'm like old fashioned. I don't like anything to kind of mess up. So I always save it to my computer first and then I post it.
I do too. So I was thinking, is that a good social media planner, but I've never used it that way, but it looks like you could, but Now is your book, did you make your book on Canva? Do you publish from Canva?
No. I publish my like journals. I like design journals. So those I'll put on Canva, but my actual books are through like Adobe Illustrator and my formatter.
Because of the ability, the technicality. Yeah. And also what about resolution? Because Canva have good resolution, like to be printed on paper?
Yeah. I mean, from what I get from my journals, it does. But again, like I said, I mean, when especially with children's book authors, most of your illustrators are going to do it for you. So it's like included in the price. So I just have them handle that and I just do my other stuff on there.
So it's not an issue of whether or not Canva can handle it to you. But I mean, if you were going to do it on Canva, you'd have to like silhouette your character anyway. Like you couldn't just put a square where your character's in it. And that requires something like Photoshop. You know what I mean? So it'd be hard to do anyway. Okay. So you have children's books and you've recently gotten agented, and there's not a listener here who's not interested in how that came to be. I'm sorry, it's nothing to do with Canva, but everybody wants to know. So tell us about that.
So my first series was a toddler series, and I was so new. I didn't know that I'm sure you heard of PB pitch, and that's like a Twitter thing where it's a picture book pitch, and it's when agents are actually actively looking for picture book authors. So back in the day, I put my book up. I had already had the illustrations, and this was my first really big author mistake. I put it up. I thought that's how you did it. And I had an agent very interested and wanted it, but I already had it illustrated. So they were like, no, we can't take that. Like, you have to only do manuscripts. And I was like, oh gosh, okay. And, a couple of years ago, it was really hard to find information on publishing and children's books. And that's why we even started At Home Author. And moving forward, I have another series in mind. And now that I knew what I was doing, I was like, okay, I'm going to do the old fashioned query and send. And that's exactly what I did. I queried and I sent, and they did. And now I have an agent, which I'm really excited about.
So we have an agent in this season, an episode where I talked to an agent, not children's book agent, which is a specific thing. But one of the things you have to do with an agent is literally find ones that have interest in your territory, find ones and look and see what they precisely want. They want 100 pages, they want 100 words, they want whatever it is. With a children's book, they probably want the whole manuscript because it probably is about 200 words, right? So And then you have to give it to them in the way they want it. They want it as an attachment. They want it in the body of the email, whatever it is. It's their system is set up to make it easy for the agent to read your stuff. So you don't want to go against that. Right. So you did all
Yeah.
that. Like, and how many agents did you pitch?
Oh my gosh. So yeah, so there you have to like literally go through, like I said, it's almost like going through a newspaper with like wanted ads, but you have to go through different agencies. So I pitched about like 25 before I finally got like a yes. And some, you know, I mean, some are busy. They don't ever always get back, or maybe they'll get back in a couple months. Yeah, but about 25.
Okay, that's not bad actually. And then, I mean, I think, you know, I think I pitched 5 a week for much longer than 5 weeks, much longer to get traditionally published for a self-help book in 2008. So yeah, so yep, I can flash back to that just like PTSD. But anyway, okay, so so the difference now will be that this book will be taken to a traditional publisher, and the publisher will match you to an illustrator, right? Is that the way it works?
Yeah. So from what I'm gathering is, I think it might be a little bit different for each publishing house, but right now I think she has me out and she's been like sending it to editors. And then once I'm matched, I think they just take control. And that's kind of how
they work with you. They work with you.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
Like if they want to rewrite or they think something needs, you know, they
that stuff. Yeah, I meant illustrators.
Oh, illustrator,
I think it's more, yeah. That's like,
and your book might get a different title, for instance. Often the title is better than you could have come up with because they have perspective on your work that you don't have on it. Yeah. So it's
I'm excited to see where it leads.
It is exciting. It's exciting to be agented. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. So, because that's just not everybody. It's not the only way forward, but it's one that we've all idolized for all these years, right? So
100%.
And did you, so the books that you sold on your own through your Once Upon a Page press, did you have really big success with that, or in terms of volume?
So I've sold over 12,000 copies since I published in 2020. And I have my 3rd book coming out in that series that I did the wrong way. So I kind of feel like it's 3. Like if you're going to do a series, you at least need 3. So my 3rd box set.
And then a box set. Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. That one's coming out hopefully September. I have it set. And then I'm just going to be ready to kind of veer a little bit more traditional.
Yeah, unbelievable. But I could see where 12,000 sales gets, you know, a publisher's attention. Under 3,000, it's a very hard thing to defend, the self-publishing, like, because they still need you to sell your book. Even though they're publishing it, they still need you to have an email list, to have a following, I mean, that was one of the things
on all of them. Like that was one of the questions. It was like, how many books have you sold? And you needed to like show, you know, whatever. And I thought to myself, I didn't even realize it was that many.
It's so good.
When
it's
I
a good amount.
I was like, whoa! I was like, oh, that's great.
Oh, thank God. And then, okay, so in book launch mode, let's say we're doing a book launch. Okay. What would we go to Canva to try and create? What makes a difference? What would we,
I make like I said, I make all my graphics on Canva. So whenever I'm doing a book launch, I make a really cute graphic to put in an ad of, okay, this book's coming out. If you like, sign up for my launch team. And usually I actually use a Google form for them to fill out to be on my launch team. And then that'll be what the ad connects them to. But on Canva, it's usually the graphics. It's usually like the instruction sheet I'll make. Because like I said before, because I have really cute characters, I like to put them on everything. So when I'm doing like a launch, it's kind of like I have all my instructions. I put the PDF all together and I send it to them. And so Canva has helped me immensely with making everything way cuter than I could ever do on my own.
Okay, so I do think it has changed enormously what you can do on your own. Like whether or not you have to be joined at the hip with a designer, which, you know, 20 years ago you did. It's changed 100%. All that enormously. But you mentioned something else that, again, has nothing to do with Canva, which was our topic. But talk to me about your launch team.
Okay. So, so launch teams. So like I said, I have, it's actually called How to Cure Yucky Yeti, is going to come out in September. So the book is almost completely done now, but I chose September because I'm kind of going by my audience, which is pre-K teachers and toddler moms. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'll do now is I'll start making the graphics. I'll start putting together I like to do a beta testing. So I'll start with like a couple readers. I'll get their opinion just to see if anything needs to be changed before I actually do the full launch.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll make my graphics. So I'll put a social media ad. I'll put it all over my socials. And I put it up for about
all of your social like posts. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll put it up for, I don't know, maybe I'll give it like 2 weeks. And that's usually enough time to gather enough people for a launch team.
And how many do you want to gather? How many would you like in your launch team?
I really don't want more than like 800. I think that's enough.
That's a big team. Yeah.
Yeah. So usually that's what I'll go for. I'll also reach out to influencers that have to do with my audience. So, you know, all those really popular toddler moms or really popular preschool teachers, they'll be the ones that I message first and say, okay, I have a copy of my book. Would you like it before it releases? So they could do some promoting too. So it's a lot of this is what we have to get going before the launch in September.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of information too. I appreciate that. I've done a launch team when I brought out my book, this book, Right Without the Fight. But being as I am, I love it. Thank you very much. It's a book about the science of creativity and how your creative process has more to do with block than ideas or blank pages or, how you think creatively directly impacts what's going to cause you resistance or block. So, like you can actually assess how you think creatively.
I love that.
All that being said, I did the launch team with maybe I had 70 people, I think. And that was what I aimed for, so that was just my concept, 70 people, because I wanted 25 reviews within 3 days on Amazon to, tick their algorithm up. So I never would have thought of influencers. That's a really good, and I never would have thought of, and there are influencers on Book Talk and things of that.
Oh, yeah. There's a ton of bookstagrammers.
Yeah.
That's what they call themselves, bookstagrammers. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's interesting. So with 700 people, they just got your book free in advance and
in a PDF form.
Mm-hmm. And they were asked to review it or?
Yeah, they were asked to review it. But it's a little bit harder. I don't know if it's just because my people are moms or teachers, everybody's kind of really busy. So you really don't get as many reviews as you think you're going to get.
Oh, goodness, no. That's why I had 70 for 25. And that was, that was not quite enough. I think I needed more like 90 because also on Amazon, there's all sorts of things like if you haven't bought something in 6 months, they won't let you post.
They've really cracked down on their rules. It's like crazy.
Yeah. So, I was surprised that there's anybody in the whole world who's not bought anything on Amazon.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of them, both young and old, because young didn't have accounts yet and old, whatever, doesn't shop online.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I wish I was a person that didn't shop online. That would probably save my wallet a lot, but.
I'm a half and half. I like a store. A store is very stimulating to me, But
Target.
I wanted a pair of tan shoes and, I went to you can't expect to find on a shelf anymore a pair of tan shoes in your color, in your size. The style you want. It just, the inventory is just not there anymore that way. They used to have rooms and rooms of shoes, now it's just whatever, whatever boutiques right there, right? Boutiques. Yeah. So they used to sit down and they'd go get your size and they certainly had it, whereas, inventory is just really different in stores anymore. So I ended up shopping online. I think I bought and returned 3 pairs and then got the perfect pair. So
amazing.
I should go right to Canva and create a social about that, right?
You should. I'm telling you, Canva will make it so pretty with the background remover. That's my favorite feature.
Background remover. Oh, that is a good feature. Does it have AI? I had understood that some of these places have AI to suggest a better headline.
Yeah.
So say more about that.
That's like a new
like chat AI is what I'm talking about.
So so Canva has what's called it is like that. It's called Magic Write. So you could say something to it or ask it a question and all of a sudden your answer is going to pop up as what they think is best. So that's like a new feature that just like kind of started recently.
I mean, all these chat things are new, and they're going to be freaking everywhere.
Everywhere. But it's really cool.
I did understand that Canva had that, but I hadn't yet had them assess my headline or tell me this, would get more clicks, or this would get more clicks. You know, that's what I think it's able to do, because it is such a database of, they don't have a database of what gets clicks.
No, theirs is literally just like you ask it a question and it's going to type the whole entire answer for you. So like, you know, what a great way to use it is if you're doing a blog post and you just are kind of a little stuck on a question and you type it in there and they'll give you your answer instead of you searching Google for it. And then you can
so that's different from what I was thinking. Yeah. So what question might you ask? Give me an example.
Okay. So like I said, we do at-home author. So we have an at-home author blog. So if I wanted to see a statistic and just say, okay, Instagram versus TikTok, like why is Instagram using more reels? And then it'll like give you a whole thing, mostly saying about how, because TikTok was getting such success of the videos. So now Instagram's competing.
I see. Okay. And so then you could go in there and put your own voice in it and change it up, or simplify it, or use the one fact and cut the rest, or okay. The podcast will be back in less than a minute. Hey writers, are your creative juices running low? Are you skipping writing sessions because you're so busy or because you're just tired? Well, there's an easy fix.
Really?
Try Mighty Write. Mighty Write gets you writing and keeps you writing. Ingredients include creativity, writing, coaching, community, and Zoom sessions. Side effects may include productivity, finished work, bragging, and stupid grins. Try Mighty Write. Seriously, click on the link for more info about the Mighty Writers Club. Be mighty! The Mighty Writers Club. Find us at go.decodingcreativity.com/mighty. Okay, so I think Tailwind, which is a a social media planner, because they do put things on they put them on the socials for you. They put them on the platforms for you.
Scheduler.
They know what people get, what gets clicked, and they'll actually give you a better headline for whatever import you put in. So you put in, mom bites dog, or whatever. And they'll say, oh, you know what? This will get better click, or this will get, they'll just say something else, I think that would get clicked a lot though, mom bites dog. But
why is a mom biting a dog?
It's just a little brilliant. I just use my daughter because she's Instagram. I'm not really like I had to do the post for this event that we're doing together, this podcast and event. And so you want it to be funny and interesting and interactive. And that can really be daunting. Don't you think? Yeah. Yes. So I used Canva to create those. Oh, I'm going to tell you a Canva trick I heard, and I want to see if you've done it before. Anyway, I used Canva to create those so that they would have a uniform look. And mostly the concepting was what was difficult for me. Canva is freaking easy to use. Really great. Oh. So easy, so intuitive. Amazing. It's just like when I did publish this book, I had bookmarks. I had a one sheet that said all about it so I could send it out to press. I had a speaker sheet, press release, a speaker sheet so that I could talk on that subject. You can just come up with 15 things that also just gifts. You can end up having little gifts that when someone buys your book, like it could be a little sticker or it could be but stickers you tend to have to send out to print, but you can design them in Canva. But I mean, I made little wine glasses once, so but you have to design that in Canva, but it's unbelievably easy, and we shouldn't really just, because we're interested in so many topics, sell that short, not give the people the information to use that. So I will say that you can go in, you can have a list of things you want when you publish your book, or you can Google what collateral it's sometimes called, or print collateral people create when they get their books out, a workbook, a press release, a bookmark, a postcard, a sticker, there's a lot of things.
If you go to like author visits, like we do author visits a lot, I make my order form right there on Canva. Like
okay, so if you're going to be like, you go into a school or a library, you're saying, and then you have an order form there so people can order the book from you. Okay, awesome.
Ahead of time.
Oh, ahead of time. Duh. You send it to the teacher, she hands it out for the backpacks. I remember. Oh my gosh. Yeah, of course. So there's a lot to think about, but
so much.
But Canva takes away that how the heck am I going to do it? Piece of the
so you don't really have to pay somebody to design all these things for you. You're
and you get better at it. I mean, that does give you a whole lot of help in terms of background and typefaces and things, and then you get better at it. I think a lot of my stuff was pretty clunky early on, and that's not because of Canva, just because it's hard to design sometimes, like white space, and you have like 17, you choose 17 typefaces. It's like, yeah, I think I could cut that down.
It all comes into like what you want your aesthetic to be in the end, like what you want people to really start recognizing you for. And once you get that down, it just becomes so much easier.
Okay, so I'm going to go there for 1 minute, and that is, we all have worked hard on our voice verbally, but there's a graphic and a visual voice that you can work on as well. When this was professionally designed, because what books should be, but I remember saying I need it to be really fun. I don't want something that seems authoritarian or authoritative even. I didn't want something that seemed like an expert had written it. I wanted it to seem like I had written it, and that it was likely fun and interesting, like a good fun read. Yeah. So even though it's full of science and information, it was really important to me. I actually also picked the size because it felt companionable to me, a small book, like you could have it with you. So there's a lot that a lot of those decisions you don't think of as voice, but they're your voice. Yeah.
Yep.
So okay, here's the question I had for you. I just Googled this, and I haven't tried it.
No.
Okay. So in the event that you're going to try to do really regular social media, and you haven't been in the past, you can, you can even do this with AI, but most of us writers have a real snobbery about AI, but which is the chat GPT or AI or whatever. Yeah. Job security. So, but anyway, you can fill a spreadsheet with posts. So you could do that. If you had a book, you could pull out quotes from your book, or, and put them in a spreadsheet, and then take that into Canva as what's called a CSV, comma separated values. You've picked a template, it'll just put them all in there. It'll put them all in those, and some of them will be too long, some of them will be whatever, and you'll have to go in and adjust them, but you'll have 40 posts, inside a minute. Yeah. So have you ever tried that?
No, I like to, even though I have like a very specific brand for myself, I like the bright colors because I'm a children's book author. I like, my daily, what I'm posting, has now been my goal of what I want to post every day, but I like to make it a little bit different. So that sounds like an awesome idea, especially for those, especially for those that are like, everybody, like I said, is aesthetic is different. So like, there's a lot of people that do the same exact kind of like white background with the word and the quote and underneath, like that would be fantastic for somebody that's posting like that. But mine's like,
but I mean, you could also this doesn't have to be every day. You could just have 40 posts and you're interspersing them with other things that are every day. And they could, I mean, on Insta, people love their grid to look cool. So they don't want those to be just, like return address labels almost, just, distinguishable one from the next. So if it was every third day and there were two of a different design in between, your grid would look really good,
Yeah, it would. I mean, and especially because Instagram's kind of going back to that whole photo aspect too. They're focusing back more on the photos again, which I'm really thankful for. So you don't have to do so many reels all the time now. So that's
reels. Exciting. Yeah, I did reels when I was 100 days to challenge. So I was doing reels on a
regular. Oh, nice.
Kind of using TikTok sounds though. Oh, I don't even know. Sometimes you're, in over your head and you just can put it out there and you can't really squeeze the lemon and get as much as you can out of it. Squeeze the Lemon comes straight from Eva Natiello, who's also one of our speakers in the episode, and one of our guests on this season of the podcast. So she talks about squeezing the lemon with, I mean, such a talent for that. You know what I mean? That's a creativity that's way beyond, you know, she just really has a talent for that. Like, make it work 1,000 ways before you walk away from that tactic. And I was just like,
I'm gonna have to listen to that.
It's so like, it's a different kind of creativity from mine. Mine's all generative, and that's really, you know, collective, you know?
Yeah.
It's a different kind of creativity. So I was really impressed with that. You're always impressed with what you aren't, right?
Yeah. Always.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, it sounds like you have a lot of capabilities with the launch team and the collateral materials and the newsletter and the blog, the workbooks, all of those. You did workbooks for your children's books?
I'm in the process. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, like, how is a children's picture book generating a workbook? What kind of work are they doing?
So, right now I'm in the process of doing my age gap that I really am geared towards for my toddler series is 2 to 6. So I have toddlers. So I'm kind of making, and I'm an elementary school teacher. So I'm kind of making a workbook geared off of what I do with them on a daily basis. And I'm trying to take what we're doing and what's working and putting it straight into a workbook so that other moms can do it at home without having to try to figure out how to get it done.
But what would the work be?
Oh, okay. So sorry. Like teaching normal things like teaching letters, teaching colors, teaching shapes, teaching numbers, like all things that you would try to do on your own, or if you're just drawing on a piece of paper and saying, okay, this is like a cute way to do it. Where
okay,
it's like
I see.
Use
so
like
I was at a loss. I think we taught Nickelodeon and Couch. I believe we taught Couch when they were toddlers. A little bit of library. Once in a while, there was library for me. They turned out okay. I didn't drop them on their heads or anything.
Yeah,
that's driven. That's intent. Good on you. Yeah, we taught hiding from them. You know.
Cookies in the pantry. You know.
So okay. Is the Facebook and Instagram have different sizes though, but you're saying Canva can alter them for each.
Yes, but
different proportions is what's aggravating about it. Like one square and the others, landscape. Yeah.
For like ads, it's really frustrating. But if you're posting, now they're connected, so you can connect your Instagram and your Facebook. So whatever you're posting, Instagram can go straight to your Facebook.
Yeah, and
that somehow now works out. They kind of like.
And I don't think people knew that. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think people knew that.
Yeah. So they kind of come to terms with, okay, we should probably make this the same if we're connecting them. So, but their ads are still different. So that's
okay.
A little
well, I mean, if you put a Facebook ad, they'll run it on Insta.
Yep. But they'll change the sizing too. Like
they'll do that automatically. Okay. Yeah. They'll run it on both. What do you run an ad for? For your books or for your business or?
Lead magnets. So I love getting email lead magnets. Like I love like creating a little community because I constantly will ask my community like questions like, this is the line that I'm thinking of. What do we think? Like, do you like this or do you like something else? Or I'll show them a graphic of what like my illustrator is doing and say, oh, first monster, what do we think? And I constantly ask for feedback.
Is that all in your newsletter or you're in and out all week long?
I'll do my newsletter and then I'll also, if something really interesting comes up, I'll put it in its own. But mostly it's just like a newsletter or something that just popped up.
So again, a lead magnet for people who are not cultivating an email list yet, a lead magnet is something that is free in exchange for an email address. So it's usually something very close to what you offer, So if you, for instance, my lead magnet is an illustrated book called Stuck Duck because it's about a duck. Why am I stuck? It's called, and Stuck Duck Gets Stuck, or I don't remember Why Am I Stuck is definitely the title. But anyway, and it's really based on the P.D. Eastman book, Are You My Mother?
Oh, cute.
Very closely based on that. So she's just going around trying to find her mentor, and and I illustrated the 4 ways that people think creatively. There's 4 identified ways that people think creatively, and we all have to do them all, but we all have strengths in one and weaknesses in the other. And they're identified because they come from different places in your brain. So we're obviously have skill in one and struggle in another. So, that's why we're all different creatively, basically. But so like the hen is like peck, peck, peck. I just made her the implementer because she just stays with it, persistent. And the car was rusted out, if you recall. And I made him the developer because that person is sort of a perfectionist and can't get off the dime, So just very closely related to that. But specifically, I'm just saying your lead magnet needs to be very close to what you're offering, because then the person you attract and who wants that is going to want what you offer. So
Exactly.
I was saying to somebody the other day that if your lead magnet also might state what you do, like somebody had one, I was saying it could say how to be a published essayist. You know what I'm saying? Like it tells people that she's a published essayist, before they even if they don't offer it, she's made that little branding statement, So anyway, so a lead magnet builds your email list. And do you agree with me that an email list is fundamental to book marketing?
I don't know if I would have made it without my little community. That's what I love to call them. They're like just like my little community of, I know that they're interested in my work. And I think like,
isn't that the greatest? You know that they're interested in. And that
like,
you get feedback, like people say, I love that, or you go to a conference and they, oh, I love your emails. I mean, it is incredibly heartening. I agree with you 100%.
It is. It just makes it like you put all of your hard work and your heart into these stories. And when you see that they're resonating with people and people are like responding and loving it, or just randomly sending you an email, I love that. I think that's like, oh my gosh, like now my book baby is like really resonating with somebody else, and I can't get enough of it, and I just love.
I agree with that 100%. And it sounds almost egotistical, but it's not, because you're really connected to this community. It's not like and I'm the same with my list. I don't feel like, I never would think to myself, I'm gonna do an email blast. I would just never think that, because it's not a blast and it's hardly an email. It's basically a communication with people that you're thinking of them when you sit down to write.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I want to be beneficial to them. Like if this is helping their kids, I want to make sure that they have a say in what I'm doing. So that's why I always like will give like 2 different scenarios, and I'm like, what one resonates with your kids better?
Yeah, so I like to ask a question as well. Yeah, so that you can, But yeah, I just think it's fundamental, and I don't know what the resistance is, but there's a resistance, whether it's too much work maybe, or they feel like it's pushy or salesy. But you and I just illustrated that it's not pushy or salesy. It is a connection and a community of people who like your stuff, so they're going to buy it. But it's not, I'm not.
They won't ever just get like a billboard from me that's like, oh, like go buy my book. That will never be something that happens. It would be the only time that I'm marketing would be if it's just released, or somehow Amazon just loved my book that week and gave it like a huge discount. Then I'll be like, oh guys, real quick, just so you know, this is like on a deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think people don't see the difference between, or they can see the difference, but they don't know how to navigate the difference between that and say the people who keep calling you for your car warranty. There's like a lot of difference in there,
There's so much.
So marketing can be very personal. It can be very connected to the people who are interested in your work. And it should be, as an author. It can't be otherwise, because everything you're writing is coming really from your heart. You know what I mean? So you can't. It can't be a car warranty call. You know what I mean? It can't be somebody else. It can't be a fleet of people on the phones. It has to be represented by you for the most part, even if you have a traditional publisher. Yeah,
exactly.
So cool. So okay, I think we covered a lot of territory.
We did. We went everywhere.
See, if I had sent you a set of questions, we wouldn't have gotten anywhere together.
No, goals are, Canva is amazing and you should really utilize it because it has so much to offer.
Awesome. So great. Really great conversation. I appreciate you. And I appreciate just how much you brought to the table today.
Oh, thank you for having me so much.
Loved having you. Thank you. Hey, thanks for listening. If you liked it, please subscribe and tell your friends. What did you learn today? What was your takeaway? What are you going to do today? Put it in the comments. We all want to know. Meanwhile, get my book, Write Without the Fight. You want to master your creative process so you can write with more ease and satisfaction. The links are all in the description box. Join us, because writers are the best weirdos.